Time flies and waits for no one, and once lost is never found. Yet still we try to keep time and measure it. Let the French, Germans, and British fight over who invented the wearable clock, or watch, in the 1500s. This we know. It's the Swiss who refined the art, crafting the world's most intricate and expensive timepieces. This, though, is a curious interval for Swiss watches, those mechanical wonders running not on batteries but on springs and gears. For one, you hardly need wrist candy to tell time, you can just consult your phone. And now Swiss watches are subject to the ups and downs of President Trump's tariffs. Yet these luxury items keep ticking, as we saw for ourselves in a place called Watch Valley. Venture an hour north of Geneva, and wedged between ridges of the Jura Mountains, baby cousins of the Alps, you'll enter the Valley du Joux. Don't be lulled by the green meadows and grazing cows. This is a global manufacturing hub. Has been since the 17th century, when local farmers needed a side hustle during harsh winters and started tinkering with big hands and little hands. Big-name watch brands came of age here, as did solo master craftsmen like Philippe Dufour.
When I arrive in the morning here, I light my pipe, take a coffee, put classic music. It's heaven.
In Dufour's one-room workshop, the old watchmaking methods endure. So do the tools and the tempo.
Do you remember how long that took you to make your first watch?
Oh yes, more than 2 years. Yes.
One watch?
Yeah, yeah.
How long does it take you to make a watch now?
Well, it's about 2,000 hours, 1 year.
Dufour went to the local watchmaking school and worked for major brands before striking out on his own. Now 77, he's revered in the industry, meticulously crafting watches from start to finish. That third eye, a magnifying loupe it's called, doesn't leave his head. Dufour prices his watches in the hundreds of thousands of dollars, custom ordered and so in demand when we asked to see a sample of his handiwork, he had none. Well, except the one he was wearing.
This is the model Simplicity. I launched it in year 2000, and this is the real first one, and I wear it every day since 2000.
Counter to its name, the Simplicity contains 153 individual components. Dufour hand finishes every part. Those broad stripes are his signature embellishment. Today, Swiss mechanical watches are like fine art pieces, appreciating assets that collectors can and do resell at auction.
The one and only Philippe Dufour, and there won't be any others. 1.9 million.
What do your watches sell for?
Oof. I mean, in terms of auction, one of the highest was 7 million.
How do you process that?
Well, I'm very happy. I don't get the money because it's not mine anymore. You know what I mean? But I mean, it's a recognition.
Just down the road, Antoine LeCoultre turned his family barn into a watchmaking studio. That was in 1833. Now it houses the global brand Jaeger-LeCoultre. The work is segmented, each employee tasked with one of 180 watchmaking crafts. Adjusting springs, sure, but also turning caterpillar secretions into glue for jewel bearings. This artisan reproduces masterpiece paintings on the back of the watch with a one-thread brush. The back of the watch is prime real estate at Jaeger-LeCoultre, best known for a model called the Reverso, originally made for polo players who needed the watch to be protected during competition. Flip the face and voila. On our tour of the shop floor with brand director Mathieu Sauret, we watched a worker assemble his first Reverso. Hundreds of hours go into perfecting this chime alone.
Much nicer on the ears than Siri.
It's called a minute repeater. Leave it to the Swiss to pioneer what are known as complications, watch speak for those additional mechanical flourishes beyond the basic display of time. Consider the perpetual calendar.
It tells you the day of the week, the date, the month, precise until 2100.
This is accounted for leap year. You don't have to check this for the rest of the century.
No, you just have to wind it. The watch is a little computer. It knows everything.
We joke about a computer, but this is entirely mechanical.
Yes, There is no electronic at all in this timepiece. Everything is gears, gear trains, wheels, and springs.
Watchmakers don't get nervous having an item in their hand worth $1.5 million that might take more than a year to put together.
We are nervous.
You look cool though. You pull it off.
I look cool, but I'm not.
On the other side of the Jura Mountains, the goods come to market. Geneva, a cross between a city and a Swiss watch showroom. Rolex is the biggest player, more than 1 million units a year, roughly a third of the Swiss market share. Pharmaceuticals and banking are bigger sectors of the Swiss economy, but it's watchmaking that draws out the national character. Marc-André Deschaux is the founder of Watches TV.
In Switzerland, we like to do things well.
We hear about that famous Swiss precision.
It's all about very minute details.
This is not a product that degrades over time.
Not really. A watch movement is something that is absolutely incredible if you think about it. It runs 24 hours a day. Okay. And some people are saying like minus plus of 5 seconds per day. Oh, that's a big thing. But if you think about it, in the day, you have 86,400 seconds. Okay, so if you have a little bit distortion of 5 seconds, that's less than 0.01%. I mean, it's nothing.
If the Swiss can get a little precious about their precision, it's a function of history. In the 70s and 80s, Swiss watchmaking was decimated by the so-called quartz crisis, when Japan in particular began peddling more accurate watches for a fraction of the price, run on a quartz crystal and a battery. The Swiss response?
Swatch. Always different, always new.
They launched the quartz-powered Swatch watch, plastic and chic, but then doubled down on the high-end mechanical market, adopting alpine high pricing and limited supply as business model.
It's only 1.75 millimeter thick.
At Richard Mille, we tried on this $2 million mechanical watch, a mind-bending price tag, but it does explain how Swiss watches account for fewer than 2% of the units sold globally, but more than 50% of the market's overall value. Of course, it's a small cohort that can afford this kind of status symbol, the equivalent of a Ferrari for the wrist. And it's gauche to walk into a shop and just buy a watch. It's a process, a dance done in gloves. At Patek Philippe, we were shown a new model with a split-seconds chronograph.
Let me put it on your wrist.
This is going to be nice.
List price, north of $300,000.
If somebody said, I love this watch, I saw this in your window, can they walk in off the street and say, please take my credit card?
It's a difficult one, but sometimes a bit of patience is necessary.
Said patience can be measured in years. Some wait lists can run a decade.
Help us make sense of the wait lists and the supply and demand.
It's a way of driving this desirability for a product, so that you can't just, it's not a question of money. You really need to, go along this kind of journey to get your watch.
The journey has been bumpy of late. Earlier this year, the U.S. issued tariffs on Swiss exports at a punishing 39%, driving prices even higher. But tariffs are flexible in a way time is not. After captains of Swiss industry, including watch company executives, visited the Oval Office last month, the Trump administration dropped the Swiss tariff rate to 15%. And yes, that gold-plated desk clock was a gift from the CEO of Rolex. Plugging away through all this back and forth, Max Busser, founder of niche brand MB&F. An engineer by training, he started the company in 2005 and struggled at first.
And then 2020, COVID happened. We had hundreds, thousands of people contacting us saying, how can I get one of your watches?
Could you accommodate this demand?
No, because we don't want to grow.
That's right. Busser has no interest in ramping up from his current output of roughly 400 watches a year.
See the level of detailing. You're looking as if you're looking at a little city. And of course, all of this is not only beautiful, it has to function.
The loop lays bare just how painstaking this work can be.
I mean, these are poppy seeds. That's a screw that's smaller than...
This is a screw.
That's a grain of sand right there.
This is the level...
This is the craftsmanship
competence of these people. I believe watchmaking is art. Everybody says the art of watchmaking. So if watchmaking is art, why are 99% of watches look the same?
Busser does not stand accused of conformity. He used a bulldog as inspiration for this model and told us telling time is not the point.
We all know that what we do is totally pointless.
What do you mean?
A mechanical watch is totally pointless today. It was pointless in 1972 when the quartz era arrived. And so anybody who tries to tell you, yes, a mechanical watch has a point, except for emotional art and artisanship, I don't think so. 364 components in the movement, 92 components in the case.
Busser's company has grown to the point he recently sold a 25% share to the Chanel brand. But it's small enough, he still interviews clients before selling them a watch, which can easily run $250,000.
How do you as an artist feel about this when some of your customers are now viewing this not as a piece of art, as a functional timepiece, but as an investment?
It really, really annoys me. It's the worst reason to buy a beautiful piece of watchmaking. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm very happy if our customers can not lose money or even make money reselling one of our watches. It's a beautiful gift for both of us, but it shouldn't be the reason.
You will not be surprised to learn where Busser found the template for his life's work.
Philippe is a legend. He went solo when nobody was solo.
Back in the Vallée de Joux, the OG, Philippe Dufour, has taken on a new apprentice, Daniela, who also happens to be his 24-year-old daughter.
I really have a kind of deep relationship with my father. And so I was super curious about all the time he was spending in the workshop. You see the magic operating. He's in the front of his bench, working on something that you cannot even see without a loop. And you just listen a little, I made it.
Sigh of relief.
Yes, and then you see the heart of the watch beating for the first time, and you understand that you just created life, and you want to do the same thing.
Before we left the workshop, the Dufours insisted on showing us this party trick. A half dozen of his pocket watches set to chime in synchronicity, meant to echo the sounds of the valley.
When the farmer is going up on the mountain, with a big bell.
All these years, and it still brings you pleasure and a smile.
Yeah, marvelous.
Marvelous.
Yeah.
It brought us a smile too. But then again, we're suckers for the evocative sound of a classic mechanical timepiece.